want to talk about DIY projects. So this is a John Deere 8.1. This applies to all engines. So typically, if your engine is tired, worn, got a broke ring, something not major, you should overhaul your engine. You can always overhaul your engine cheaper than buying something that's already been rebuilt. If you can buy a rebuilt engine cheaper than you can overhaul yours, I would question the quality of the rebuild. First, always make sure you're comparing apples for apples, because if somebody's pricing you a complete engine versus a base engine or long block, then those are apples and oranges. But for like, you can always overhaul yours for less until you have something major happen. Something major. So now that we've got a major problem, we can't overhaul ours less than buying one. But if we just want to do the work ourselves, you've got to come up with a block, probably a crank, and at least one rod. So there's where our DIY short blocks are a good option for the guy that wants to do his own rebuild. So how do we get to those? So this little 4.5 is a real good example. It was an engine that got a little hot in the tractor, and it failed a certification. What do I mean by that? It failed a compression test or a cylinder leak down test, which doesn't mean that it's a, quote, bad engine, but it does mean we can't sell it. It has to come apart. So we take an engine like this, we know it rotates, we've looked at the bottom end, we pull the head off, pull the front timing groups off, and basically we're selling you a block, a crank, and rods. But when we leave it together, that's the safest way to ship it. We don't run into any issues there. Now, there may or may not be any value in knowing that your block, your crank, and rods all come out of one engine, but it's all there, it's all intact, and it's a great place to start, knowing that you don't, actually you can check the block, right? How do we know your block's good? Well, we leave the crankshaft in it, we leave the bearings in the lower end, then you're going to be able to see what you got. We're not suggesting that you don't change that stuff, but as an example, that's how that would come. So being your own part advocate is knowing what all do you need. Yes, you got a hole in your block, but just take one step further. What else do you need? And when we have to take these engines down, like, we don't keep a DIY short block on the shelf. So we have to take them down. Whatever it is you would need, we would have.